Hey, what's going on? We are live from Mindset Monday. Thanks for joining us. And today, we got a couple good things for you. So I'm here with my co-host Dave, and prior to coming on, we were talking about like the power of intention, right? And I'll give you one from mine, and Dave's going to share one of his. But I'll put it to you like this: there are sometimes you get to the gym or you're training, and you're just going through the motions, right? You showed up, you're there just to be there. Same thing happens to at everybody at work.
Mhm.
Okay, where you're just going through the motions, but there are other times where you feel like you are absolutely on fire. Right, you're knocking out every single thing that's important. Right, if you want to relate it to lifting, you go to the gym and you're getting a great workout. You're pushing yourself harder and harder and harder, and you're really feeling. You can feel like when you put your body through it. The differences in both of those situations is intentionality, right? If I come into this office with the intention to help as many people as possible and close as many deals as I can and put people on a better path forward, all right, the output that I'm going to have is going to be much higher rather than me just showing up and just going through it. Dave, what's your spin on this?
Yeah, man. I think the other spin on the other side is, thinking there's tomorrow, right? It's like those days you don't feel like doing it. You know
Yeah.
what? It's all right, man. I got tomorrow. It's okay. Tomorrow never happens, right? And then tomorrow turns into a week. It turns into 2 months. And I think human nature, we have a sense and I don't want to say a problem, but like a sense sometimes that we think we're going to live forever, right? Like something happens, a tragedy, to somebody else, or even somebody that's even close to you, right? You're like, oh, that's them. That can never happen to me. You know what I mean? And that's very arrogant thinking, to think that something like that can't happen to you at all. And I think we get lost in the weeds with thinking in that manner until something really close or that sense of morality happens. You and I were talking about this before, and this weekend got me really thinking of a lot of that. Of Gary Vee has those 3 words that he likes to post all the time, right? For people to get it going and be intentional, right, and get after it. You're gonna die, right? And I was thinking about this weekend. It's Mother's Day. My mom's been gone for 6 years, right? So like and I don't play the sympathy role, right? Like I have my wife and I have my mother-in-laws, but like it just got me thinking. My mom was really young. I've lost 4 people this year that I know personally in my age group, right? One I played football with, really close. Two more that I went to school with, same age. And then my buddy Dave, who I've been real close with over the last 14 years. And it's just like with Dave's memorial service, his wife says some pretty profound things, right? Like with intentionality. And Dave's always been intentional, right? Like he's always had a very unique vision. I think you've spoken to him a couple times about some things that he was getting ready to move forward in his contracting business. But I think also he got derailed with his battle. But he did put his intentionality into his battle, right? Kind of put everything on the back burner. But when he found out, that he wasn't going to make it, he lived with that. He ended up being at peace. I spoke to him pretty much till the end. There's a period of 2 weeks where I would text him where you knew he was on his way out, because he really couldn't speak at that point anymore. But, his wife told me something pretty profound that with their intentionality over the last month, just little things, right? Like staying up, conversing, doing things together that they actually got officially married, right? Within that last 3 weeks. They've been together for, I think, 7 or 8 years. And, they really live together those last 3 weeks. And she said, look, something that we had the opportunity that blessed us both is most people don't know when they're going to go, right? The upside of knowing when he's going to go, it got us to be together. It got us to be intentional. It got us closer to each other, but got us closer spiritually, got us closer to God. So being at peace with that at the end, and you could tell she was at peace with that, man, because they lived intentional pretty much like since they've been together. and it's kind of sad that it takes an event to like make you double down a little bit more. But they were the proof and the epitome of living intentional and until the end, man. And it just makes you kind of paint a picture that, hey, man, you just don't know, right? Like, so if you're not living intentional, if guys, we control everything we do. And I think we forget that too. Like, we are in control of 99% of everything we do. And if we're not living with intentionality to the fullest every day, then what are you doing? What is your purpose? Now ask yourself that question. What is your purpose?
Yeah. I think challenge yourself. Like when we started off talking about this today, we were talking about, when you're just going through the motions, right? Have an internal audit that when you're going through the motions, when you feel like you're going through the motions, you take a step back. What are your goals? What do you want out of today? What are you trying to accomplish? Right. And it helps. Like, I'll tell you, it's not the same, but it's similar. Like, I've been more intentional with my family, right? When I'm there, what do I want to do? Am I there, or am I really there? What I mean by that is, am I present? Okay. How many times are you going and you go somewhere and you look up, right? And you look around the room and all you see is people on their phones.
Yeah.
Right. Is it that type of situation? Because I lose it in my house if I see that. I have everyone put their phones away and I make sure people are present. Right. And I think that's a big part of it. So what's your intention for today? What are you trying to get done? 2, be present, be where your feet are. All right. These are things that will absolutely help and drive you. You don't want to, just show up to work every day and just wonder where the time goes, because that's what most of us do. Right. Have specific outcomes that you're going and chasing, and you don't stop chasing until you actually get those outcomes. You know what I mean? And that's I think the biggest thing that you guys can take away from this is just that. Dave, what else you got on this?
Yeah, that intentionality, you can be intentional and kind of shitty things too, right?
Yeah.
With bad habits. But I think it's important to assess, hey, what is going to drive the needle forward. It's funny you said that about the family, right? And I've made, it's actually one of my power list tasks, because I think it's important to shut technology off. And I know my kids are obviously in sports and they're here, they're there, they're doing everything. But one of my power list tasks is be intentional with my kids with no distractions for at least an hour. And that doesn't include going to practices or any of that stuff. No, outside of all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's important, man. Like that's a hard habit for me because of how in multiple directions we are with both of them. But getting that time at night, like even an hour before bed, like just one-on-one, either with both of them, or usually it's with both of them because we'll be doing something together, because that's how they are. They're super close like that. And it's been turning into an awesome, not only habit, but like it's really kind of brought us a lot closer together than what we were before.
Yeah, dude, makes a big difference. All right, boys and girls, you heard it here. Do us a favor, share this with someone that needs to hear it. We will catch you on Financial Fitness Friday. Have a great week and crush it. Take care, guys.
Till then, be great, y'all.